All right, so here we are. I'm going to push you away from me just a little bit so I'm not like sitting right there in front of your face. Let me tell you a little story. See this clock back here? That one? It's the only clock okay. So I had a great aunt. Her name was Aunt Fern. And Aunt Fern is the person who actually introduced me to my love of older people. She was an absolute gem. She was an individual who, when she was growing up, she just had it very, very rough. She's my grandmother. It's her sister. My grandmother on my father's side. So my dad's mom, her sister. So my dad's aunt. Okay. So Aunt Fern lived in Cleveland for quite some time. She never had any children. She was married, but she divorced. And his name was Chicken Fern. Well, Fern, after she had an accident, she was a passenger in a car. She never drove. I don't think she ever got her driver's license, actually. She was a passenger in a car, and a City of Cleveland bus slid. It was icy and hit them, and she was injured. And she received a settlement from the City of Cleveland. And she had to have a number of surgeries on her knee, and she had to walk with a walker. And she never, ever let things get her down. Never, ever. She was the most positive individual, the most positive influence that I ever had. I grew up with her. We lived with her on a number of occasions. Sometimes we had to help her with her activities of daily living. And she was just never had a bad word to say. If she was mad, you knew she was mad, but she would get out of it. And when she would get going and laughing, she would turn beet red. She was a wonderful person. Well, this is her clock. And we have had this clock for a great number of years. It's one of those wind clocks. And it chimes. It's going to chime here in a little bit since it's getting close to 4 o'clock. So I apologize. You'll be able to hear it. But it's just kind of that little reminder of somebody who has since passed away, who had a great influence on my life and on the life of my family as well, my sister, my brother, and my dad and my late mother. So anyway, just wanted to share that because when it chimes, you just get to listen to it too. All right. So module 10, all of that to say, how many minutes did that take? You got 3 minutes. I got up to 3 minutes, and now you're going to hear what I'm going to say. Okay, module 10, no examination, Merry Christmas in July. I started thinking about it today, and I realized, it's summertime, and some of these students have been on vacation and have been very lenient because, and I understand, it's your class. You should be a student first, obviously. But you all have turned in your work on time. You've never asked for an extension. And when I say you all, I mean all of you have never asked for an extension. Never. I have never had an online class where I didn't have somebody email me and say, oh my gosh, can I please have an extension? I'm sorry, I completely forgot, blah, blah, blah. None of you did that. So your reward, your gift from me to you is you don't have to take the examination. All right. Now, I do want to take some time to go over the rubric. I posted the rubric for the final presentation. Let me go ahead and pull that up here really quick. Well, that's not it. Of course, you can't see it. I have been working on my evaluation. All right. So the very first thing that I need you to do is I need you to tell me what scores you got. And I know you've already done that in the assignment, but this is also part of it. So the rubric is a 5-point, 4 points each rubric. So a 0 means you just didn't do it. A 1 means that you did it, but very minimal. In this section, you're either going to tell me or you're not going to tell me. You're going to forget to tell me. So it's either going to be a 4 or it's going to be a 0 in this section. You're going to tell me what score you got. I want to tell you what the scores mean. You are probably wondering, well, what do these scores mean? What's my 54 on the first one and my 37 on the second one mean to me? If you note that the lower the score, the less attitude you have about the aging population. Okay, so the less ageist you are. The higher the score, the more ageist you possibly could be. If you do all the math, the lowest score that you can receive is a 27. You answered 1 on everything for all 27 questions, or not 1, but you received a score of 1 on all 27 questions, or you received a score of up to 135. 135 is the most ageist. There she goes. Okay, so the most ageist that you possibly could be. None of you got 135 so far. I haven't seen anybody get a 135. But those are the scores. What I'm hoping happened, and what I've been seeing in the responses is that your scores have gone down. Some of you may have gone down maybe by 3 points. I remember one person had a 40 on the first and then a 37 on the second. So if you go down, then your ageist attitude is improving. If you're going up, if you went up in score, then something changed in there. And I can't tell you what it is because that's your own reflection. But this, the video presentation, you're going to get a chance to respond to that. Okay. So the very first one is you tell me what your score is on the first one and what your score is on the second one, the difference in the points, and boom, you've done that. That's the first section. The second section is you're going to choose 3 statements. So maybe I choose, and the reason that you're going to choose them is that you saw your score change. Maybe on one you said slightly disagree, and then you changed to agree on the second time around. Or you were strongly agree and you went down to disagree on the second time around. You're going to choose 3 of those statements to tell me why do you believe you changed your opinion on that? Tell me what you think the reason is you changed your opinion on that. And I want you to directly link information from the textbook to your answer. So for example, if you're looking at the activity theory and you're looking at the statement of older adults should have their own their own area in a sports complex or a sports organization. So basically, older adults should go and exercise someplace else and be with their own age group. The activity theory you could use as your reason why maybe you changed your mind, that once you heard about the activity theory, you thought, well, you know what? This makes sense why I changed my mind on this answer and why it changed so either drastically or slightly, whatever. But you're going to choose 3 statements from the questionnaire where your answers changed. And I want you to tell me why, and I want you to link textbook information to it. Okay? All right, so the third section is you're going to choose 1 statement where your answer did not change at all. And I want you to tell me why it didn't change. And I want you to directly link information from the textbook to your reason why it didn't change. The fourth section is I want you to tell me, when we look at research, we want to apply what we have researched and found in our research group and be able to generalize that to a larger group. So if I say undergraduate students who have not taken a course in gerontology on their pretest scored higher in their attitude about aging, as opposed to scoring lower in the second test or the post-test after a formal course of instruction has been given. If I can take that piece and apply it to a larger population, can I do that with this scale? Can I say, this is a good scale to use, these questions, these are good questions to use for a larger population to be able to measure their attitudes about aging? And do you think that we could start identifying individuals who might have more ageist attitudes than others? So it's your opinion of whether you think this is a good measurement to use. Okay? The fifth section is you meet the time requirements. And the time requirements are you need to make it at least 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes gets the total score of 4 points. 4 minutes gets 3 points. 3 minutes gets 2 points. 2 minutes gets 1 point. And anything less than 2 minutes is a 0 on that, all right? So you can talk for 5 minutes. If I can talk for 10 minutes about my Aunt Fern and a paper, you can talk for 5 minutes about the presentation, okay? So I'm going to be recording another video and putting it under the Core Plus assessment information and also under the module, but this is where I'm going to explain how I want you to submit your presentation. All right, so the rubric is under the module, under Module 10. There is no examination this week. This module will remain open until July 26th at 11:59 p.m. That's when you will have to upload your link to me under the assignment. I can't talk. Okay, I'm gonna be done talking now until I have to go record the other video. Okay, that's all. Okay, bye. I'm gonna see. I can't find my mouse. There's my mouse. There she is. Okay, bye.